Hey everybody, how's it going? Hey, this is Anthony L again. Hey, I know that that you guys have been waiting for this moment. I know I've been waiting for this moment. As you see, I'm not by myself. I have a special guest with me today. This is the model, the singer, and the actress, my baby girl, Sydney Rivers. She's here today, and we're going to talk about mental health in teens. We're going to talk about mental health in teens. I have some questions for her. And this is really for other teenagers that are out there, as well as parents, teachers, anybody that come in connection with to help teenagers. We're going to talk about. I think this video is going to help you with that. But before we get into this, I want you to make sure that you hit subscribe. That's right. Look at the bottom. Put your head down just a little bit right there. Go ahead and hit subscribe so that way you can get all the videos that are coming out. Remember that with me, you should get a video every Sunday and every Thursday. So every Sunday and Thursday. And with my other daughter, Essence, she's going to be putting out videos every Tuesday for Essence. But hey, we're here today with my baby girl, Sydney Rivers. What you want to say to the people before we get started?
Hi. That's it.
Okay. So she's saying, what's up? All right. So we're going to talk about mental health. So my first question to you, Sydney, is this. Could you just explain what do you think mental health is in teenagers? Like, in your world where you see mental health issues, what's the state of it with your friends and your friend group and things like that, or just people that you've come in contact with that are around your age?
I honestly think that it affects us in every single way. It's a huge part of everyday life and exactly like what we do, and it just affects everything. Mental health to me is just part of who I am and what makes me me. That's just how to explain it.
So what do you think, so help us understand what's going on with teenagers today.
Honestly, there's just so much going on that it's really hard to talk about, or just stuff that goes unsaid that we all struggle with. Depression, I wouldn't say that it follows what exactly everybody thinks about it. I think depression is just distancing yourself and it just hurting, and it's hard to talk to people. Anxiety, it affects everyone. It's just so hard to like function when you're anxious or when something is going on. It's hard to talk. It's hard to explain what's going on. It's hard to explain how you feel. Just everything. It's just terrible.
So when we think about, so as adults, we understand that, you know, we have jobs, or you might be working inside the house or outside the house, and we got a number of different things going on. As parents, I know that we are very involved with our kids' life. We want the most for our kids, but we know that we don't always know all of the story when it comes to what's going on in teens' lives, our own teens, as well as, you know, other teens within the neighborhood and schools. So my question is this. As adults, what should we know when it comes to mental health in teens? What are some of the things that we should be aware of?
Mental health always isn't, it's not always the definition of what everybody thinks it is. It is just so much more than that. And there's so many different ways that we have to cope with mental health. I wouldn't describe mental health as something that is something, I don't even know how to explain it.
Like, for example, like, are there kids in your high school or area, are they depressed? Are they anxious? Are they like borderline? Are they cutting themselves? Are they thinking about suicide? Like, or is that just an adult thing?
It's not just an adult thing. I know so many people that have been suicidal. In our schools, we have Hope Squad to help deal with anxiety and depression and like suicide prevention. Like, it's just terrible with how it affects everybody in everyday life. I have friends that not myself, but I have friends that are cutting themselves or that have like dealt with like suicidal thoughts or even actions. Depression, it's so present in my friends. Not even my friends, but everybody around me. Even anxiety. It's not always talked about, but it's always there and everybody knows it's there.
What would adults be surprised to know?
not everybody cuts themselves, but a lot of people have considered it. Depression isn't always just being sad. It's really hard to talk. Or there's so many people that have gone through like anxiety attacks, or it's just so hard to talk and just function, and it affects us in every single thing that we do. It's so hard to explain because everybody knows it's there, but nobody ever talks about it, and we just need to talk about it. We need to start the conversation. It's just terrible.
So this next question is 2 parts. So the first part is this: as adults, teachers, if any pastors out there are listening, and church leaders, coaches, anybody that comes in contact with kids and teenagers, what should we stop doing?
When we distance ourselves, there's not always something drastic happening. Sometimes we just need to be able to have the thought process and think about what's going on, so then we can like understand how we're going to respond to everything. I think that sometimes we need our space, but sometimes when like we're upset, we just need to be pushed to talk. Even myself, we need to be able to learn how to cope with the feelings that are hard. We truly need to work on understanding how we feel. And it shouldn't be something that goes untalked about. We really need to start the conversation because it's present with everybody. And I just think that it's not talked about enough. It's there, but nobody knows how to talk about it. And then it's just like nobody understands. And nobody understands how drastic it is for us. And it might be present in adults, but we wouldn't know because we're all just dealing with it alone. And we don't know how to help each other. So I think that we need to understand how to help each other, but most of all, like, help ourselves.
Okay. So the second part of that question is this: as adults, and trying to help, what should we do?
Oh, this is hard. I think I don't even know how you could help. I think just being there. I think that's like most of all, and just like always checking up on us. That's been something that's like really important. I have a couple teachers that are just always there, just wondering how you are, just like the hellos in the morning. Like everything adds up, whether or not you notice it. It all helps, and it's always like this is stuff that we're gonna remember. Not always the actions that are done, but the words that are spoken. Like it's always something to remember. I remember words that have been spoken like years ago, and it all just adds up and it all helps. So I think just being a friend when it's hard, but even when it's not hard, just being there and like being there to talk to, or just if you need to like explain, like you don't always need somebody to tell you what to do, but you need somebody that'll listen, so you can like think it through and like understand how to deal with it yourself, so then you can eventually get to the point where you can ask others for help.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hey, we're going to have a part 2 to this. So our next video is going to be part 2. We have a different topic coming up that I'm going to pick her brain on. So, hey, thank you guys so much. Remember, this is Anthony L. Remember that I love you and you matter.
Chestnut Street.